So he's been known as Governor, Mr. Secretary, and now President. But around here, at his request, we just call him Ed. Thank you so much for participating in this farewell and thank you party for our University of North Dakota President Ed Schafer and First Lady Nancy Schafer. For years, Ed and Nancy have been very familiar faces in North Dakota. As you know, in the 1990s, Ed served as governor for 2 terms and then went on to head up the United States Department of Agriculture. When we learned that Ed and Nancy would be taking on the role as president and first lady of this great university, our campus and our community were ecstatic, and they have not disappointed us. Over the past 6 months, Ed and Nancy have worked tirelessly for our university, giving their all for our students and always keeping the university at top of mind. President Schafer has mentioned many times that for he and Nancy, it is all about the students. In fact, our student government elected to award President Schafer with the Gordon Henry Award, which is the highest award our student government presents to a member of the faculty, staff, or administration, a person who goes above and beyond in their service to students. So we thought that it was only appropriate to have someone who's benefited from President Schafer's dedication directly speak to what that means to him. I'd like to welcome our 2015 and 16 UND Student Body President, Matt Kopp, to the stage. Matt?
Thank you, Deanna, for the introduction. Like she said, my name is Matt Kopp. I had the privilege of serving as the student body president here at UND for the 2015-16 year. So it was a cool March afternoon, and I found myself sitting in the McDonald's drive-thru with Ed Schafer. We ordered our food and started to pull forward at the exact same time as the person coming out of the other line. The guy in the other car looks over at us with this kind of suspicious look on his face, like naturally concerned that this large SUV that's coming towards him is about to cut him off from his cheeseburger for an extra minute or two. Then all of a sudden, he saw who was driving the vehicle, and his eyes get big, and he gets this big smile on his face, and he points right at Ed, and he goes, "You're the governor," and just starts waving him through. I'm sure that this isn't the first time something like this has happened to Ed, and I'm sure that it won't be the last, but I tell that story because I think it illustrates a powerful point about the kind of person that we've had serving as our president these past 6 months. Ed Schafer, just by agreeing to take the position of president, brought a new level of respect to the University of North Dakota that simply wasn't possible before. We had been embroiled in a decade-long battle over our nickname. He effectively ended that battle with 2 sentences at a Rotary lunch. We had seen conflict between students and administrators. Ed consciously worked every day to improve that relationship, and by the end of the year, like Deanna said, he was awarded the Gordon Henry Award by our student government for going above and beyond in his service to students. We had enormous budget challenges that had to be met. He listened and responded to 800 nervous people packed into a ballroom for 2 hours, then made the difficult decisions that he had to make with an optimistic message about the future of UND. I believe that no one else could have accomplished what Ed did over the past few months. And I think the reason is that he has a style of leadership that is truly uplifting for everyone around him and a presence that commands tremendous respect. He's the kind of guy that makes you want to smile and let him go ahead of you in the drive-thru. Ed Schafer has been more than a university president to me. He has been a friend and a mentor, and that is something that I feel blessed to be able to say. Having a front row seat to Ed's presidency has been a great learning experience for me, and I would say that I learned as much from Ed as I have in any classroom. He's taught me to think through both sides of an issue before making a decision, to respect and truly listen to your critics, and to lead with real courage during difficult times. Above all, he taught me that leadership is about what you do for the people you get up and go to work for in the morning, not what you do for yourself. Ed put students first and foremost every single day, and he made sure that everyone around him did the same. Whether it was staying up until 2 or 3 in the morning responding to student emails, or stopping by the meeting of the UND Hammock Club to ask if they would be interested in putting one in his office, you could tell very easily that Ed cared deeply about students. To be sure, the University of North Dakota still has great challenges to face, but we've put ourselves in a position to excel, and our future is bright, and that is thanks in large part to the leadership of Ed Schafer. On my last day as student body president, I expressed to Ed that I felt that there was so much more to be done, so many things left unfinished, and he told me that I would have felt that way no matter what when my time was up. And so today I'd like to say the same to you, Ed. You have made a difference in this community, on this campus, and in many people's lives, including my own, with the time that you have had here. It has been an honor to work with you and a great pleasure to learn from you. Thank you, Governor, Secretary, President. Thank you, Ed, for your service to our university and to our state. UND and the people of North Dakota are better for it.
That was wonderful. Just one shining example of the excellent students that we have on this campus. And we are so proud of the work that Matt did last year and his work with Ed and Nancy in bringing the community of students together. And so we thank you for your leadership. So I have to give a quick shout out to a special day we had this week. Monday, June 13th. What was that day? Well, actually, it was the 127th birthday of the UND Alumni Association. For 127 years, we've been celebrating our wonderful alumni. Alumni like Matt, he graduated in May, and he'll now be going on to law school at UND, yes. And especially alumni like Ed, who graduated from the University of North Dakota in 1969, do I dare say that? 1969, and he received an honorary doctorate degree in 2008. Ed was also a Sioux Award winner in 2009, which is the Alumni Association's most prestigious award given to only our most distinguished alumni. We are very proud that we are celebrating 127 years and continues to celebrate the wonderful alumni that come from this great university. At this time, I'd like to call our provost, Tom DiLorenzo, to the stage for a few comments and maybe some special surprises. Tom?
Thank you, Deanna. I'm humbled and honored to be representing the vice presidents today in providing some comments about Ed and Nancy. It isn't often that a person can offer thoughts about how individuals have contributed to an organization, especially a former governor, former Secretary of Agriculture, and his life partner. Let me start with Nancy. Your commitment to this university and to Ed have been unwavering. To disrupt your life out of the blue for the past 6 months only because you were called upon to do so is the epitome of philanthropy. You may know that the Greek meaning of the word philanthropy is the love of humanity in the sense of caring, nourishing, developing, and enhancing what it means to be human. Is that not the definition of Nancy? Furthermore, I have come to see that Nancy is a true diplomat. If you needed any convincing of this, just see how long she has been with Ed, who let's say is rather spontaneous and involved. So Nancy's commitment to UND is clear. What is a bit unusual is that I can't point to this commitment as her being an alum. You know she graduated from Concordia. So as provost and as acting president one time when Ed was off campus, I took this matter into my own hands. So Nancy, would you please come up front? So it is with deep honor and gratitude that I present you with this honorary degree from the University of North Dakota.
Awesome. Thank
And I'll read it to you. Nancy Schafer has completed a series of tasks and tests during her 6 months of dedicated service of First Lady of the University of North Dakota, and been examined by competency-based assessment and prior learning assessment. Therefore, by the authority vested in me as the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs and my VP colleagues, Nancy is awarded the degree of Master of Diplomacy and Philanthropy, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto given at the University, Grand Forks, North Dakota, on this 15th day of June 2016. So, Deanna, here's our latest alum. Ed, what can a person say about the Energizer Bunny? To say that the vice presidents were concerned or curious about your appointment as president is a real understatement. But I can say that we thoroughly enjoyed working with you, and we all became students of leadership in action. Ed told us early on that there are 3 cardinal traits of leadership: serve all the people all the time, do the right thing, and solve the problem. Having been with Ed for 6 months, I can say that he lives these characteristics every day. Ed also likes to quote Teddy Roosevelt. I can't remember if this is one of Ed's favorite quotes, but it certainly fits his personality. It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Ed, it has been an honor and a privilege for all of us to work with you and to learn from you. So what does the provost give the president at his farewell reception? Well, the Chester Fritz Library created an exhibit featuring Ed on display in the Elwyn B. Robinson Department of Special Collections called Ed Schafer, Full Circle, UND Student to UND President. Given this title, I thought it would be fun to regenerate Ed's diploma from 1969, but taking a bit of creative license, which Ed knows I don't have much of, I added your signature as president on the diploma. So it really represents Ed Schafer, Full Circle, UND Student to UND President. Ed, would you come forward to receive your diploma? So I've asked Ed to stay up here for a minute because I want you to see the expressions on his face. What else does the provost have access to? How about a transcript from about 50 years ago? Now, Ed, we framed your transcript for you, but I can't say much about it because of confidentiality. So if anyone wants to know anything, you'll have to talk directly with Ed. But I did look it over a little bit, Ed, to see if there was anything that could have predicted your marvelous career. You're only here 2 more weeks. I can say whatever I want. You did get a business degree, with courses such as money and banking, marketing, corporate finance, and business law. So that makes sense for the early part of your career. Right? But, Ed, you also took sport activities and skating and bowling? And Nancy, is he hiding something from us? Now, you also did take public speaking, but you really only did so-so in that, Ed. See, he remembers that one. You took personnel management, industrial management, and the geography of North Dakota. So that fits with you being governor.
Here comes the math, right?
I chose not to talk about that. You took regions and nations, office management, and American government. So I guess we prepared you for Secretary of Agriculture, right? And I also see your liberal arts roots that made you a true Renaissance man, like beginning ceramics, throwing, which upon reading more I realized was ceramics too, and understanding music. Now, I'm not seeing much that would have predicted you being the president of a major university. But I did see salesmanship and first aid. So I guess there really was something, Ed, that we educated you for. So anyhow, we thought it'd be nice for you to take a walk down memory lane and see the seeds of your later accomplishment. But we're not going to open it. That's up to him. Fine. I wouldn't open it if I... Yeah, no, you did just fine. But I was actually humbled. He did better than I did in our first year.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think it's awesome that he got the gift, not necessarily. Anyhow, finally, Ed, one more thing. When the university first conferred upon you the Doctor of Letters in 2008, we had not started the tradition of presenting a medal. We will correct that today. On the back, it says Edward T. Schafer, Doctor of Letters, May 2008, President, January through June 2016. So I'm pleased to say that when you leave office for the vice presidents, you'll move from boss to friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many universities have the opportunity to have a provost do stand-up comedy? Not many. We are privileged. Now, I have to say, did you notice that he included his VP colleagues on Nancy's gift, but not on the gifts to Ed, especially on the transcript? Vice President Reeser and her staff were chewing out Tom all the way about FERPA violations. What are you doing? We can't do this. So I also was very interested in going through your class schedule, and I would say salesmanship and intro to music, it's a good thing you took those because that might have worked on Nancy. I think that might have been the best two classes you took. Well, we too have something special to present President and First Lady Schafer today. It's an honor that we at the UND Alumni Association do not take lightly. You see, we don't award it every year, or even every other year. In fact, the last time this was awarded was in 2013. But when When we identify someone who fits these parameters, we want to make sure they make it on this very prestigious honor. It is the Spirit Award. Recipients of this award have shown their outstanding support for various aspects of the university through work with specific colleges or departments, as well as their commitment to UND as a whole. Established in 1985, the Spirit Award has consistently recognized individuals without whose vision, tenacity, and service UND would not be able to be the fine institution that it is today. The Spirit Award is presented to a member or members of the UND family with uncommon dedication to the success of the university and its students. Uncommon dedication. Can you think of a more fitting way to describe President and First Lady Schafer's service to our university? I cannot. The Spirit Award must be approved by our Foundation Board's Executive Committee, and they didn't even give it a second thought. When President Schafer visited with them last month, he commented that a student's life at UND is about so much more than just the education. He said, "We groom our students to be successful professionals, and more importantly, here at UND, we groom our students to leave here with a good heart." President Schafer's uncommon dedication is evident in the fond way that he speaks of the University of North Dakota and its students. And he does it all with First Lady Schafer by his side. We are so privileged to have Nancy serving as First Lady of our university. She has unparalleled experience in service and leadership. In her role as First Lady of North Dakota in the 1990s, Nancy was an integral part of the Schafer administration, heading up key initiatives for women's and children's health issues, drug and tobacco prevention, mental health issues, and the promotion of the arts. She became the first First Lady to have an office and a staff in the Capitol. In April, she volunteered to keynote our UND Women for Philanthropy event and spent extra time providing mentorship advice to our UND students and female leaders. Nancy has been exceptionally active on campus, and it's a privilege for us to be able to see her everywhere. So Ed and Nancy, for your uncommon dedication to the University of North Dakota, I present you with the Spirit Award. Please come forward. And then I'll have a rest.
They should have let us speak first. The emotions are running high. What an afternoon this has been. Oh my goodness, we are overcome, we're overwhelmed. So grateful, humbled, and touched by your presence here and by the support you've shown us as we have served these 6 months and by the friendships that we have built. We will treasure these, and I've told many people, I look forward to coming back to campus because I will be excited to reunite with so many wonderful people. I just hope that our paths continue to cross time and time again. You know, when Ed and I were married, that was just a couple years ago, wasn't it? He started me on this very unusual, very unique path of service. I was a young widow then, and Ed was running for governor. So I agreed to date him only because I had talked to my family, friends, political pundits. They all assured me he did not have a chance of getting elected. Well, thank goodness he did. And thank goodness people overwhelmingly supported us, because his election and our marriage 2 days after he took office opened up for me countless opportunities to grow and serve and lead. And now here I am, for the third time, serving as First Lady. You'd think one of these days I'd get it right. But what a blessing it's been. I have been so grateful for all of the past experiences that I've been able to draw on from my previous roles, because I was propelled into this situation and immediately had to hit the ground running. I was so grateful that I knew what to do and that I could serve with joy and excitement and confidence. I have thoroughly enjoyed each and every situation and experience here. As you've seen by some of the slides, you've heard some of the comments today, in addition to leading the university in some pretty profound ways that Ed has done, we've also done some interesting things like walking in the parade, the Grand March for the powwow, and working with student ambassadors. They've come to the house to help us for many of the receptions. We had a chance to go to their evening meeting and address them there. As you heard, I had a chance to keynote the Women for Philanthropy event and talk about philanthropy of the heart. It was really a wonderful day, a very special memory for me. I've also had the privilege of mentoring female UND students, something I never expected, and I never would have guessed that I would fall in love with the students of UND the way I have, and have been just so impressed and surprised to see the quality of individuals that come to this university and the way they have conducted themselves and the models that they are, the role models as they go out into the world and show what UND does. You know, in our 6 months here, we have hosted hundreds of people at University House, including all the president candidates for UND. And we've also held various kinds of receptions, including one for the Phi Beta Kappa honor students. Ed and I even, get this, we got to judge a chop contest at Wilkerson. And of course, we think we have something to do with their victory at the Frozen Four. That was a thrill. You know, the list of things we've been able to do just goes on and on. But I think probably for me, the greatest thrill of all has been able to be able to walk hand in hand and serve side by side with my husband. What a fine man. I can't think of a better individual to pick things up and move them forward at UND the way he has. And I'm so glad that I was able to support and encourage him to do that when we started out this dream of whether or not we should accept the challenge. It has just truly been a thrill to be in this amazing environment and to serve such an exceptional institution of higher learning. I have to admit, when I embarked on this journey here at UND, I did it with a sense of probably duty and a desire to just help my husband in his work. But along the way, I fell in love with this place. I bleed green now, can you imagine? I cut myself the other day and thought, what's happening? It's green. I love UND. I am so grateful that I have built this relationship with you, all of you, in this fine institution. I will be leaving with a deep commitment to and profound respect for and care for this institution. I thank you all for the privilege, for the blessing of serving you. I can't think of anything I would rather do. I treasure my honorary degree, the Spirit Award, and I'm really excited to see Ed's transcript. Now I will know the real story. Thank you again. We will move on to some new adventure. We have no idea where God is going to take us next, but I can tell you, when we leave here, we will leave a large part of our hearts. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us. This is such an exciting day and certainly an unexpected and undeserved one. We started on this trail some time ago, and it's so great to be with you and to gather here. I was thinking maybe everybody showing up here was an effort to push us out the door early, but now I'm thinking, it's kind of a bittersweet moment. Nancy and I were coming here to do a 6-month stint, and we've been in and out of office, and we have left the governor's office, and we've left the secretary's office. We got booted out of several places in between, and but along the way, as Nancy mentioned, we just became more attached to the university than we thought we would. So it was with a bittersweet moment that we gather here with all of you today. I think a lot of you have heard the story, but when we first started talking about coming to the University of North Dakota, I had kind of dismissed the idea, had said no a couple of times when I was asked, and it was Nancy who kind of came in one day and said, I've been thinking about this, and the university's your alma mater, and you might have some experience and background to lend to the occasion up there. I think it might be good, since you yell at the TV every once in a while about how things are going on, that maybe you should get involved. And we started discussing this time of being here at the university, and it was interesting that the time we were discussing, there was an editorial in the Grand Forks Herald. And that editorial had listed several things, 8 or 9 or 7 things that were wrong with the university. And Nancy, being a good debater and being willing to take both sides of an argument and kind of go back and forth, put that article on the table, and she said, look at all these things that the paper, the newspaper, the media say are wrong. Why would you want to go up there? And my response to her was, that's why I want to go. That's like, I'm ready for those challenges. And it became something that we followed, not by design, but by our family motto, which is the sign of God is you will be led where you do not expect to go. And that is, kind of how we ended up here. And it was pretty interesting. But I have to tell you, as we faced the challenges, as we've gone through this pathway and walked through the university, and as Nancy mentioned, as we fell in love with the university, once again for me and for the first time for Nancy, it has really been a thrill. But there's one challenge that came with the job that I didn't anticipate, and one that's going to be a tough one. As we've met the challenges here, I'm reminded the challenge of leaving is going to be much tougher than we planned on. That's something that has just been something that's been amazing, how we became attached to our university. I learned a lot of things stepping back on campus after 50 years, transcript included. I must say there was at least one semester with a 3.8. Kind of balanced things out for my first years. but coming on board and really not knowing what's here and what the institution is and the character of the people and the work and all the stuff that's going on, I so learned the dedication that's here at this university, the dedication of faculty and staff, of the administration, the people that gathered around to help us meet the challenges of the university. It was incredible how people gathered together to meet those challenges, but it was more incredible of the willingness to do the hard work and the difficult situations that we were in, and do it all in an effort to make me look good. They did all the work, they committed to the university, and we get to stand before you and say this university is in a much better place. I learned from a faculty member, a professor, how to, with my 3 chocolates that I've been carrying around forever, I learned how to better articulate how to prioritize this university and our programs and our direction and where we were going to focus on excellence and move forward. I learned that from a professor in a hallway in Merrifield Hall. You know, I learned the elements of education. As was mentioned earlier, you know, the things that I carried out of this university as a student were ones that I didn't always anticipate. I didn't even know about when I was here because I was into the book learning and trying to get a few good grades and moving forward. But, you know, along the way, I absorbed the character of this university and the quality that's here and the ethics and the work and the morals and the you know, perseverance and the positive attitude of the university. It was pretty interesting to me. I've been a recipient of a degree from this university, having the opportunity to go through graduation, because I didn't realize, I realized what it was like to receive a degree. I didn't realize what an honor it is to the institution to present that degree for someone who has toiled and worked hard and learned and moved through. This university, you know, does such a great job with people, and being able to present that as we send them off into the world has been a pretty interesting learning lesson for me as well. I learned about how important the liberal arts college is, the liberal arts institution, the liberal arts university. Because, as was mentioned, we can always learn the books. We can always get a job and put our debits and credits on one side of the page or another. But when it comes to engaging in the community is what people learn at this university. And they learn to look out and see the beauty in a tree, and they learn to listen to the chimes as they come on in the morning and play America the Beautiful. They carry with them the character as they leave this university, those students. That is so important, and today I believe more important than ever, to send forth not only capable, nimble, thinking, quality people, but students or young adults that will engage in the community. And that's what I was presented with 50 years ago when I was here, and I'm so pleased that it's still here and we get a chance to enhance it, because I know that students going forth from the University of North Dakota are going to make a difference in this world. I also learned that being with the students is just the best experience ever. Being on campus and working on campus is energizing. It's exciting. It's learning. It's all the time busy work. But, you know, as we've had a chance to interact with people on this campus, as we've, you know, been able to work out in the wellness center and eat in the dining halls and meet students at various events and, you know, in all those places, you realize that the quality of people that attend the University of North Dakota just gives you a hope for the future. You know, it just really gives you an opportunity that is pretty amazing to think about those students. You have all treated us from day one with a strong welcome to the university. We moved in on the 15th of January. I think it was the coldest day of the winter, 29 degrees below zero. And, you know, we first learned that day about the maintenance folks at the university, because they came over to help us unpack the trailer. And they were happy and they were excited and they were strong, you know, and they were lifting. And I had to go off to a meeting, and, you know, they were digging through the trailer so I could find my suit coat. I did finally find my shoes, you know, so I didn't have to walk through the snow. I was late for the meeting because we dug through that. But, you know, I think about the foundation of this university and the magnitude of the people who care for this university, those people who, you know, make sure the lights are on and the doors open and the classrooms are ready and capable for people and the bathrooms are clean and the sidewalks are shoveled and students go off to do their duty in the classroom is just pretty amazing. We ran across, of course, the faculty And the faculty here, their dedication to the students, their willingness to step forward and try new teaching methods and to look at new ways to deliver education and to use the new technologies and, you know, to present learning opportunities to students that they've never had before is just unparalleled, I think, in the university system. We had the chance to work with the vice presidents and the administration and the people in the president's office. And I have to tell you, it's just been a thrill. I mean, it's just to see the dedication, the willingness to get involved, to guide and lead this university to lift up into greater heights and new things that have been difficult has been pretty amazing. And I have to tell you, I had expectations of this university, and it happened so much faster and so much more complete, where people engaged in the process, met the challenges head on, and moved this university to new places. That has just been amazing. Your kindness and openness, the care and the friendships that we have developed here has just been pretty much amazing. I have to echo Nancy in her comments about falling in love with the university. This university is a new university. And, you know, in 1883, when a bunch of people stood out in the prairie and all dressed all up and they dug some shovels in the dirt, they wanted to create a new place of knowledge and learning, a new place to prepare people for the future in leadership roles in their families and in their churches and in their businesses and in their communities. You know, they started that a long time ago, and along the way, the university has grown and has matured and it's moved and it's become better and higher and respected all over this region as the flagship university of the state of North Dakota. And now we leave this university in a new place. This is a new university. You're the new pioneers of the University of North Dakota. As we walk through with new budgets and the ability now to finance the maintenance of this university, to finance the classrooms and to finance the new technology and to finance new faculty, as we learn to invest in the future of the state of North Dakota, our budget is able to do that. As we look at a new name and a new logo and a new president, we are on the cusp of seeing the university once again fly to new and greater heights. And as Nancy said, as we go, we'll leave our hearts here.
Okay, I'm trying to hold him in place here, but we have one more gift presentation for the Schafers on behalf of the University of North Dakota, and it's under this special green cloth. Haven't you been wondering what's up here? I'd be dying with curiosity. So Nancy, do you want to do the unveiling? Do you want to pull the cloth off? This Badman original was created by Dave Badman of Badman Design, of course a proud UND alum. In the imagery of this box depicts the symbolism of the University of North Dakota, the state of North Dakota, and Grand Forks itself. And this is our special gift for you, and I know you will find a cherished place for it.
Thank you.
One more minute. One more minute. So, before I do this toast, I'll let you know the guest book, please make sure you sign it. You'll have time to visit with the Schafers. I know we have guests who are just arriving, so please take the time to visit with them. But let's raise our glass for a toast. For your uncommon dedication and your loyalty, for your service and for your leadership. Not only have you left your heart at UND, our heart is with you. You will always have a special place in our history. May God be with you today and on your journey forever. God bless and cheers.
Thank you.